Yes, indeed. On the bloody morning after. Man, and why should that ever be? And why was it ever let to be? You see, got nothing to fight over. Nobody has more than anyone else. That's just a misperception. That's a misalignment in this economic world, yeah. This hard, cold economic world ruled over by that good God money. Yes, indeedy, profit and loss. Give it a toss. If it ain't a profit, it's a loss. That's been the attitude, without gratitude, for quite some time now. And it's an infection, an attitude, a cold-heartedness that's permeated every level of this earth, every level of our societies. East, west, north, south, all of them. Everyone has fallen to the advent of money, big money, in their lives. It's easy to buy people. People believe in money. That has been the God of this earth for quite some time now. And it's very preeminent in these days as it begins its death throes. You see, we people aren't stupid. We've used money to serve us to a certain extent, yes. And we have allowed ourselves to be enslaved by it, yes. But we see the end. We know it's coming one way or the other. And we can accept that. Because our hearts aren't vested in that world the way some other people's might be. You see, we never had a very big stake in it anyway. It was just a means to an end. For us, for the working folk, etc., those who have a little heart, a little intelligence, a little understanding, and a desire for a real life. We never really surrendered to the world of money. We lived in it because we had to. At least it appeared to, anyway, till times like these. And even now we deal with it. We still, issue back and forth, buy this, buy that, take care of this, take care of that, etc., We're still in that to a point. But yes, we do. We little people of this earth who are really spiritual giants, uniting, by the way. Didn't that put a chill down your back? I hope so. Good one, too. Oh, babies uniting. Yes, imagine that. I mean, that's one thing money was meant to do and has done. Divide and conquer, you see. Only just like every kind of hypnosis that there is, or whatever you want to call it, mind conditioning, the thing that makes you accept money as a practical and necessary part of your life. I mean, you don't realize the incredible amount of programming that went into you to make you understand and accept that as a reality, when it's totally created on a fictional premise. Money is valueless. Money means nothing. It's worthless. It's not even printed on paper anymore. That's how cheap we've gotten about it. Now it's all electronic digits in a computer. And that's vulnerable, babies. All this huge economic imbalance could be equitized with the flick of a couple of switches here and there. Bing! And electronics go haywire and everybody loses everything. And we all have to start over. That's equity. Equity. Putting everyone on an even plane. I don't think we're going to quite do it that way. We're just undoing the effects of it. That's what we're doing. There's no point in punishing anybody for anything, least of all ourselves, because, babies, even though in our heart we have felt responsible for all of this, in our own way each of us have borne this burden of the unreality of the coldness here, and the violence that went with it. We've all borne that inside of ourselves one way or another. We feel that burden. But here's how we switch it into a blessing. And in this moment in time right now, we just send divine, ever-present love to all those who ever would or do feel warlike in this time, who are encouraging warfare in any way. We send the conscious presence of love to you. Foot soldiers, generals, captains, governors, what do they call them, premiers, prime ministers, kings, queens, etc., et al., little dictators and demigods, whatever you want to call yourselves. These things that call themselves nations and tribes even. To all of these places and beings, especially this one here in good old Babylon, that's been the worst offender of all, man. And the most offensive, too, because they think they do it in secret. Wow. Well, anyway, enough of the arrogance. He's away on that one, baby. Just send the love, the light, the consciousness of heart. In this heart right now, together, we'll do this little communion. Yeah, this little, call it a meditation, if you will. Just right now, close your eyes and lean back in your chair. I'm going to lean back in mine here instead of leaning over the microphone like I'm in love with it. I'm going to lean back in my chair here and act like I know what I'm doing. And we're just going to relax for a minute, and we're just going to go inside. We're going to close our eyes, and we're just going to go inside ourselves, babies, and let a breath or two out first, because it's been very intense this evening in a sweet way, but very intense. Just, okay, there we go. Now we got ourselves kind of centered, and we just kind of flowed into the heart's energy. There it comes, up from the heart into the center of the chest. That's the sign of awakening. That's the sign of knowing awareness coming into presence in your life. That's the sign that the old blockage that's been there forever is no longer present. There's an image of it that dissolves even as this love approaches. And we move beyond all restriction in heart. Now, heart and soul unite in conscious presence. Soul being the third party, the triangulation to this equation. And in this threeness is the oneness. And in the oneness is the three. And that's how it is. And that's how it shall be. For that forever is joined inside of us. Quite naturally. Becomes the pyramidic force of life. Empowered by the ever-centering heart. Ever-centered heart. The heart that resumes its position at the center of the person that we are. The heart that is ever present in all life that lives. This is us, babies. This is our truth. This is our reality. And in this heart, now, at the center of our chest, we unite one with another throughout this earth, with all of those saints and angels arising in this moment in time to answer this call. And we set forth the energy now that brings a great calming to this earth, to her skies, her seas, her lands, and to all the peoples and animals and so forth that live within this reality. An extension of a conscious presence known as truth, so that as you view and visualize your enemy, they become instantly a saint in your eyes, for that is your own noble heart looking back at you. You begin to live truth. You begin to see life as it truthfully is. You can no longer create harm, murder, and mayhem here. Your heart is not so cold and dark and deadly after all. And your unconscious ways are remedied rather immediately by the force and effect of the great love of this heart. It will never let go of you. We're not letting go of anybody. You can consider yourself a satanic reality all you want to. All you really are is an ever-loving heart, babies. However misguided your energy might have been, it is no more. The force of this love overwhelms you. And you remember the baby child that you are inside. You remember the harm and the heartache that began when the mother withdrew her love. The father got upset and went away. You remember the empty, hollow feeling of aloneness, of neglect, even of hunger at times. Babies, that's no reason to kill anybody now, is it? A little unhappiness is a small burden to bear in this lifetime. There's others that have had it far worse than you. But bless your sweet Bippy and get on with it, man. We don't deserve this, and neither do you. The war is over inside of yourself. The unconscious feeling dissolve away to the presence of the fully conscious heart, with whom you have already made peace in this moment in time, and therefore are relieved of any karmic burden which might have overwhelmed you otherwise. We do this so that you remember how it is to live as a loving being, and you go forth as this loving being, sharing and caring in such a way as would embarrass Mother Teresa. You can be so generous and so thoughtful and so there for everyone. This is your true function in this life anyway, and that's why you're sent out in the battlefield to start with. It's not to kill and maim and destroy. It's to be of service to those of lesser advantage than yourself. To take care of the wounded, the sick, the injured. To help them raise up crops of food, etc. To share the love, the wealth of your technology, your expertise, whatever it is that you carry with you. And there's a lot of it. And there's a lot to share on both sides of this fence. And this can be our reality if you but live it right here from the heart. This is your blessing. And a blessing from and to this Mother Earth herself as well. For in this heart is the undivided nature of love, everywhere present. Yes, indeed. And on one heart in all. The major truth arising now inside of human beings, and being lived now for the first time incredibly in long generations. The fullness of the heart being experienced now, and those least likely to inhabit it, but those most desperately in need of it. So there you go, babies. And now you see how we unite in this flight, how we take it to the limit and beyond, how we aid and assist one another in our times of need. Sometimes this calls for more of a little direct action. But always in the heart do we first create it. Always in the heart do we go in this meditative way, this, as I call it, communicative way, and be at one with the energy of love that radiates through us and unites us with all that live. And in that state of being, in that state of awareness, if you will, that state of connection, communication, as I call it, we become in that dynamic harmony of life quite automatically. So anything you do, say, create in these moments of consciousness is automatically in harmony with all. That's the nature of the divine intelligence at work. You can't be motivated to do anything that will run contrary to the reality in any way. I mean, in a harmful way is what I mean, or a colliding sort of way, or whatever. None of this can be created in this natural state of loving presence. Full presence, if you will, because this is your full presence now. This is you, the dynamic of your full heart, your full presence of consciousness, your soul, mind, and heart united, which brings the spirit, the energy of the spirit, uniting with the body and soul complex as well. So there comes the change, the reunion, the reunification of all that lives within us, and all that is, and all that shall ever be. That is our love. That is our life. That is our truth. Being lived in a fanciful sort of way. Babies, we're still human on top of all of this. And that's why we get to party and play. As we step out from the old roles and into the after party. Oh, baby. I'm warming up for that one really good this year. I know I am. This is going to be the part. I mean, I see visions of millions of people spread across broad valleys in the mountains, just a partying down. Am I insane, or is this really coming into being? Or am I just having great dreams and enjoying life, and does it really matter? Yes, it does. I see them partying everywhere. I see them on partying in the sky, on the earth, on the ships in the oceans. I see them out there on the islands. I see them, on the planets, and so forth, all over the place. This is a party that spreads, baby. It's a party that unites, too, brings every single heart into a complete alignment with the one heart and all, the one love, the one life. In the same way that you can keep your creation in mind by being in tune with your ever-loving heart, same way with your life, babies. You can't make a misstep when you're in that form, when you're in that fashion. Now, that doesn't mean you won't take some loops and curves, man. We enjoy our experience, and for the oddest of reasons sometimes. Just be flexible with yourself. Try to understand the nature of your venturesome soul, which is probably the opposite of what you've known yourself to be up until this time. Now you begin to see this whole other side of yourself. Many of you know it already, but now you get to see this whole other side of yourself that is quite adventuresome and that really desires to live more fully than it ever has before. It's ready for the adventure of the home, the heart, the one love, the truth in that one love. It's ready to know itself now. It's run far enough, fast enough, and proven its durability more than once. So babies, just take it easy. Give yourself this time, and you'll find yourself inclined to unite with every energy inside of yourself. You won't feel opposition anymore. And if you do, just dissolve it away with your love. It ain't real. It's just programming. It goes away pretty quick. You just have to let it. The doors are open. The veils are rising, thinning. The curtain calls on, babies. It's just about time for the end, which is the beginning, which is wow. How do we ever get here, babies? Jeez. Ain't it beautiful to be alive here, babies, tonight? Taking flight here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Old Grandpa Coyote, along with Mother God's Heart, helping you get it right here in the middle of the night. Oh, hell yeah, that's right, babies. Spread them wings. Let's take it.